Okay.
And it should be on their cameras too. So
Did he threaten you or anything?
Nah, I never talked to him.
Okay. No contact with him?
Never talked to him. Thank you, Chief. Nah, I didn't get out the car. I didn't talk to him. None of that. It's just the point of harassment.
Okay.
People stalking you.
Does he live in your town?
Nope.
No?
He's one of them YouTubers that's just like, how can I say it? Jump up on adrenaline.
Okay. Would your chief have his...
Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is now facing serious legal challenges after newly released Bodycam footage revealed the exact moment federal agents took her into custody. This moment, caught on camera, marks a dramatic turning point in what has already been a deeply controversial political saga. Henyard has been under the federal microscope for months, but this arrest signals a significant escalation in the case. The charges she now faces are severe, centered on long-standing allegations of corruption and misconduct that have clouded her time in office. The body cam footage didn't just capture an arrest, it set off a firestorm. In Dolton, reactions poured in fast, from stunned residents to local officials who have grown increasingly frustrated with the lack of transparency. For many, this moment feels like long overdue accountability. Some community members are expressing vindication, believing justice may finally be catching up. Others, however, remain anxious, unsure how deep the corruption runs or what more might come to light. One thing is clear: the scandal surrounding Henyard is far from over. With emotions high and legal consequences looming, this latest development only adds fuel to the growing demand for answers and reform.
It's just so bad, and you can tell why there's so much of a trail of incompetence and illegal activity. Those three people are not bright, and they're not even average intelligence. It's below intelligence. I think they believe what they say is great, and they're killing it, and everyone's believing what they're saying, and it's the complete opposite. Everything they say does not make sense. I mean, the way Henyard was speaking, that's a mayor, right? A mayor in...
For months, speculation around Tiffany Henyard had been intensifying, with whispers of corruption and abuse of power echoing throughout the Dolton community. Rumors circulated at town halls, in barbershops, and on social media, painting a picture of a leader under serious scrutiny. Many residents felt it was only a matter of time before law enforcement would be forced to act. The sense of inevitability hung heavy in the air, fueled by mounting frustrations and unanswered questions. Now, those long-standing rumors have finally turned into undeniable reality. Multiple credible reports have confirmed that the FBI has stepped in and taken Henyard into custody. This arrest marks a major turning point in the ongoing investigation. It's no longer speculation. It's no longer rumor. The federal government is now officially involved, and the consequences are beginning to unfold.
Chicagoland's supermayor might be going to a supermax prison very soon. The FBI issued multiple subpoenas in the last week, and now we know that a federal grand jury has been investigating Tiffany Henyard for corruption since November. I do not know what more they need to see. The residents of the town literally had a rally called Take Our Township Back last week. It won't be her first time behind bars, but unlike when she was arrested for vehicle trespass, she is now facing 22 criminal charges, and her own lawyer just dropped out because guess what? She hasn't paid her bills, and the city now owes as much as $20 million. This is what happens when people who do not earn their position of authority get access to power. If you didn't know, while she was voted mayor back in 2021, the vast majority of her income and power really comes from her position as township supervisor, where she makes over $220,000 a year. But she only has that huge salary because she inherited it with the position from the predecessor who passed away. Tiffany actually passed an incredibly shady ordinance, so if somebody defeated her in the next election, their salary would only be $25,000. So it's literally not worth it to run against her. You know it's a bad situation when the residents think the best idea is to bring in Lori Lightfoot for $400 an hour. It's so frustrating how slow the wheels of justice turn, but it feels like this story is starting to accelerate, and I hope that Dolton citizens don't have to wait much longer to see her in court.
Village trustees who had been raising alarms for months say they finally feel a sense of relief now that the FBI has stepped in. They had repeatedly warned the public about Tiffany Henyard's alleged misconduct, urging accountability at every turn. Now, with federal authorities taking action, they see this as a crucial turning point. For them, it's not just about justice, it's about restoring trust and safeguarding the integrity of their community.
Been asking for someone to come out here and save us. There have been a lot of spending, just that we're not really privy of, and we've been asking for.
The FBI's probe into Dolton has uncovered a disturbing trail of alleged corruption tied directly to Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Critics say she misused village funds and allowed unlawful practices to flourish without oversight. Federal investigators have honed in on her financial dealings, digging into how taxpayer money was handled and how her administration operated. The village. These findings have only deepened Dolton's financial crisis, pushing the town further into millions of dollars of debt. Now, it's the residents who are left to pick up the pieces, facing the harsh aftermath of decisions made under Henyard's leadership.
News out of Illinois, the FBI, they raided the village of Dolton as well as Thornton Township today, dropping subpoenas amid allegations of corruption against Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. This is a story from ABC7. The FBI said, quote, agents were conducting court-authorized law enforcement activity in that particular area. They obtained personnel records, including those of police officers, as well as business records. Now, of course, the mayor of Dolton has come under a lot of criticism because of her actions. She has been ripped by many of her council members. When she came on the show here, she said, oh, she had done nothing wrong. It was all her critics. Well, now this is escalated. The council also hired former Chicago mayor and former U.S. Attorney Lori Lightfoot to lead an investigation into corruption against Tiffany Henyard. There have been a number of allegations against her. One staffer said that she was sexually assaulted on a city trip to Las Vegas. You have allegations of folks not getting paid in the city. I mean, you name it. Also, people being illegally terminated, and so it's been lots and lots of drama. And again, when Henyard was on this show here, I had sources that were texting me that FBI investigators were literally talking to people.
The controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard's time as mayor has also put a harsh spotlight on her troubled relationship with Dolton's police department. A former police chief publicly accused her of misusing the police security team assigned to her, claiming she often had them run personal errands instead of performing their official law enforcement duties. This allegation adds another layer to the growing list of accusations suggesting she abused her power for personal benefit. One critic summed it up bluntly: "We needed those officers out on the street fighting crime, but instead, several were busy chauffeuring the mayor around town." This concern highlights how public safety may have been compromised under her watch. Critics have now branded Tiffany Henyard as one of the most corrupt mayors in Dolton's history. Numerous reports accuse her of intimidating village trustees, silencing dissenters, and removing individuals from positions simply for speaking out against her. These claims have fueled a widespread perception that Henyard's corruption and authoritarian style extend beyond local controversy. Many now consider her one of the most controversial mayors in the entire country. Her reputation has become synonymous with abuse of power and political intimidation. So who exactly is Tiffany Henyard? She is the current mayor of Dolton, Illinois, a role that has become deeply divisive within the community. Almost every resident seems eager to see her removed from office, largely because of her highly questionable use of taxpayer funds. One glaring example is her full-time personal security detail, which reportedly follows her everywhere in town at an estimated annual cost of $250,000. But the financial abuses don't stop there. Public money has allegedly been spent on billboards plastered with her face and name, decorating government vehicles and buildings with her image, and even producing a personalized 2024 calendar that includes a shout-out to her own birthday. Scandal escalates further with allegations that Henyard attempted to suppress future competition by proposing a drastic pay cut for any mayor who succeeds her. While she currently earns around $225,000 annually, she suggested cutting her successor's salary to just $25,000, a 90% reduction. Despite this severe pay cut proposal, several community members remain willing to run for mayor, motivated not by financial gain, but by the goal of removing Henyard from power. The public backlash against her reign is intense and widespread, yet the consequences of Henyard's leadership reach far beyond money and politics. The emotional and psychological toll on the community has been profound. Survivors of her alleged abuse and misconduct are stepping forward, courageously sharing stories of intimidation, financial hardship, and neglect under her administration. These deeply personal accounts reveal the human cost of the corruption, painting a heartbreaking picture of the damage inflicted on the people of Dalton. One woman, her voice shaking with emotion, shared her painful journey. "I waited 20 years. I waited 30 years. I always knew, if this ever happened to me, absolutely not, I would fight for justice. Maybe it feels sudden to you, but this has been a long journey for me. I put my suffering aside, my depression aside, and prayed about whether I should sit here and tell my story, and now I'm ready." She continued with heartfelt determination. "I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for every woman who's been in my shoes. I'm fighting for the sister without a voice, for the sister who's scared, for the one who doesn't have a sister. This isn't just about me." Inside Henyard's administration, staff have described an environment marked by indifference and dismissal. Several aides reported that the mayor would often multitask during serious discussions, brushing aside important concerns. One assistant recalled a revealing moment during preparations for a trip to Las Vegas. Although the mayor framed it as a business trip, the aide, whose 31st birthday fell during that time, shared that just being near Vegas would have meant something special. "I work hard," she said. "Just being there would have meant something." These personal stories, combined with mounting evidence of financial misuse and systemic dysfunction, have left the village of Dalton stunned. What was once a local controversy has ballooned into a national scandal, tarnishing Henyard's mayoral legacy. Her aggressive and dismissive behavior only amplified fears that she had lost control of her leadership, running the town with zero accountability and blatant disregard for public trust. In one particularly explosive moment caught on camera, Henyard shouted, "Y'all forget I'm the leader. They want to hear from the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run." To many, this outburst was more than unprofessional. It confirmed what people had feared all along. Henyard was abusing her power rather than serving the community she was elected to lead. As the public scrutiny intensified, even former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot stepped forward with new allegations about Henyard's misuse of taxpayer funds. According to Lightfoot, money that should have been used to support the community was instead squandered on extravagant luxuries, questionable business deals, and an endless list of unnecessary expenses. Critics argue this reckless spending worsened Dalton's already fragile financial state, leaving essential community needs unmet. Longtime Dalton resident Manning didn't hold back when discussing Henyard's spending habits. "All this money," he said, "on air fryers, hotels, and high-end restaurants like Ruth's Chris, Cafe Hollywood, and Hot and Juicy Crawfish, all of it paid by taxpayers because she claimed she was attending a conference." He went on. "She even spent money at Bubba Gump Shrimp Co., bought a souvenir hat, and had the nerve to wear it to a town council meeting, right when they were questioning her about her spending spree in Las Vegas." The absurdity reached new heights during a local news interview that quickly turned strange. Before airing the footage, the reporter cautioned viewers, "This is not a show. This is not a comedy. This is real life." The exchange unfolded with Henyard denying details of the trip in a confusing back and forth. "You didn't go to Las Vegas?" "No car," Henyard mumbled. "You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?" "Of course I do." "Were you?" "It's not paid by them." "Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?" Any other questions? Perhaps the most bizarre revelation was her decision to produce a taxpayer-funded music video. The video wasn't even original. It featured Henyard singing over someone else's song, complete with professional production and visuals. One stunned critic remarked, "This isn't a political scandal anymore. It's a legit comedy show." The internet quickly exploded with reactions. Some joked that this saga could become the wildest political documentary ever made. "Look, at her walking with cops like she's untouchable," one viewer commented. Another said, "And the crazy part? Everything we've talked about. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Yet another added, I could honestly do a 10-part series. On Tiffany Henyard. She's not just corrupt, she's iconic in the worst way. At the heart of it all, Henyard operates with a sense of impunity. When confronted, she shrugs off the accusations, fueling public frustration. It's as if she's daring everyone, saying, I'm going to keep spending taxpayer dollars, and I'm going to keep it moving. Her tenure as mayor of Dalton, Illinois, is now sealed in infamy, not for accomplishments or progress, but for a legacy marked by unchecked power, endless controversy, and a staggering list of allegations that transformed a small-town mayor into a national cautionary tale.